Hey guys, so for today's video, I'm going to be filming an anti-haul of all of the new Summer 2017 Drugstore products. Be warned, this is going to be a very long video because I'm going to be talking about all of the new things that I was able to find that are out right now. And all of these things are available at Ulta, so I will be reading you the information and the prices. All of that info I will be getting from the Ulta website. And anti-hauls are all the rage right now, but honestly, it's the same high-end products featured in every single video. And I do like anti-hauls, but it depends on who they're from and the products that they're talking about. I did do an anti-haul in the past for holiday 2016. If you guys would be interested in that video, I'll go ahead and link it up here. But I wanted to do an anti-haul today and have it be a little bit different, and that would be focused just on the new drugstore releases. And you guys might be thinking, why would you need to do an anti-haul on drugstore products? They're so affordable anyway, it doesn't matter if you buy them or not. And I don't think that is the case. If you guys are in the drugstore, you guys know that the prices are getting higher and higher all the time. Some of these prices are getting outrageous to be considered drugstore products. So you can walk into CVS, pick up a handful of things and end up paying $100. So I am gearing this video towards people like me who are makeup lovers that already have a decent size collection. And a lot of these products I think would be amazing for beginners, are really great for people that have a smaller budget, but they don't already have a large collection. I don't have a huge budget, but my collection is so big that a lot of these things are not necessary for me. I think it's great that the drugstore is releasing these products because I think right now they're coming out with a lot of staple products that will be perfect for their lines, but the drugstore is pretty behind the times when it comes to trends, and a lot of other brands have already done it, and you guys have probably already purchased those products from other brands. So while I think it's fantastic that the drugstores are adding them, they're not going to be unique things you have to have in your collection. Also, when looking at the color range, I'm not noticing a lot of unique colors. They're mostly covering the basics, which is good, but that means that you probably don't need to pick up a bunch of shades because most likely you already have something very, very similar. So again, this video is geared towards people like me who are makeup lovers that already have a decent size collection. So I'm going to be listing and linking everything down below. I will have links for the Ulta site since that's where I'm getting all my information from. I'm also going to be linking down below a bunch of review videos from people that I trust. And because I'm not purchasing these things, I wanted to do as much research as possible so I can help give you guys what the consensus is about whether these things are awesome or they're worth passing on. So I'm going to be going brand by brand, starting with Rimmel. First is the Brow This Way 3-in-1 Ultra Soft Powder. It retails for $4.49 and it comes in 3 different shades. And Rimmel is not the only brand that is releasing this kind of product at this time. It is a loose brow powder that has basically a foamy flat applicator so you can apply it to your brows. Pure Cosmetics has released something like this in the past that I actually have tested out. I do have a first impression video on it, which I'll link up here. And I do like the concept of that, but because you're using a loose product, I got little pieces of brow powder all over my face, and I think that is inevitable when you're using a product like this. I think the concept is good, but when it comes to executing it, I don't think it is going to be as user-friendly. Next from Rimmel is the Scandal Eyes Liquid Liner. This is $5.99 and it just comes in the shade black. This is supposed to be waterproof, lasts up to 24 hours, which sounds really fantastic. And it is an angled felt tip applicator, but it's kind of small. I think this could be okay. The size and the shape is kind of weird, but I think it's just an okay product. If you already have a liquid liner that you love, I don't see that you need to go out and try this one. Then is something that is a very gimmicky concept. That is the Rimmel Shake It Fresh Mascara, and it retails for $5.99. It looks like it is a natural bristle brush, and basically you're supposed to be able to shake the product and it is going to refresh your mascara so it's not drying out, so you can get every little last bit out of your mascara. I think that's a good idea, but you're probably not going to need to shake it up for a couple months because it's not going to be drying out day one. I've seen probably 3 or 4 reviews on it and everybody hated this mascara. So this mascara really is all about the gimmick. It doesn't have a really good formula or brush. There are amazing drugstore mascaras out there, but this is not one of them. Next we have the Rimmel Stay Matte Liquid Lip Color. This retails for $5.49 and it comes in 12 different shades. This does cover a lot of basic nude, pink, red, but then they do have some crazy colors. I think they even have a pitch black, which is kind of interesting. And I know I did see a couple reviews and lip swatches on this, and I think people actually quite liked these. So this might be something that you're interested in trying if you see a color that really interests you that maybe you don't already have. But I think I heard this might have a little bit of a fruity scent. I hate all Rimmel lip products because they have this really, really artificial, chemical, tutti fruity scent that makes me want to hurl. I just cannot use their lipsticks, and if this smells anything like that, I have zero interest in it. But I have heard pretty good things about this formula. Some of the colors can be inconsistent and a little bit patchy. I really recommend watching Tati's review video because she'll let you know which colors worked for her and which ones didn't. And something new that I just saw pop up on the Ulta website is the Rimmel Oh My Gloss Oil Tint. Retails for $5.99, and according to Ulta, it comes in 6 different shades, but the pictures of the packaging look kind of different. I know there's at least a couple of these. And this is something that is kind of popular right now, lip oils, and I don't know, it's something that I've heard a lot of people love, but I did see one review of these on Instagram and the girl actually really liked them. So if you've been interested to try this new trend of lip oils, then maybe this would be a good thing to pick up. But I would just get one color just to see if you like the formula. And those are all of the Rimmel products. Now on to CoverGirl. They released a new foundation, the Vitalist Healthy Elixir Foundation. Retails for $11.99 and it comes in 9 different shades. 9 shades is not fantastic, but there are definitely worse shade ranges out there. And a lot of people really do like this foundation from what I've seen because it does give some pretty good coverage, probably medium buildable to full, and it has more of a natural finish. And if you guys know me and you've seen my foundation reviews, I am a full-on, full coverage girl, and I like to have matte skin. I do not like any bit of glow to my skin. But I know Samantha Jane really did like this, and she has oily skin. So if you have oily skin and you want a dewy skin look, then maybe this would be good for you. But also being very fair and very yellow, I have never been able to get a CoverGirl foundation to work for me. Even the lightest shade is way too dark, way too pink, and they always oxidize on me. So I personally cannot try this foundation, even if I wanted to for that formula, because the color I know is just not going to work. Next is the CoverGirl Total Tease Mascara. It retails for $8.99. This has a plastic bristle wand. It has just like regular plastic tooth comb on one side, and on the other side has like a really small comb that is supposed to be able to get your inner and outer lashes and also the lashes on your lower lash line. And I've heard kind of mixed opinions on this. This is something that gives you more length than volume. It's something that I would probably want to pair with another mascara, and from what I've heard from most people, it's just okay. I haven't really heard anybody rave about it as their favorite mascara, but I haven't really heard a ton of negative reviews. So if you're interested, maybe give it a try, but for me, I like more volume than length, and I just prefer natural bristle wands. Next from CoverGirl are their Colorlicious Melting Pout Liquid Lipsticks. They retail for $7.99, and they come in 12 shades. Again, they have nude pink, orangey reds, they have some purples and some cool different shades as well. I think it's nice that they do have a good color selection here. And this product is basically a dupe of the Too Faced Melted Lipsticks. And as you guys know, that is a liquid lipstick that does not dry down completely. It is more of a creamy finish. This is very similar to Maybelline Color Jolts, which came out about a year ago. So I've heard good things about this, but it's not a unique product, and I am just not interested in that kind of product. If something is going to be that pigmented, I would rather it dry down completely. Having it stay that creamy finish, I'd really be afraid of it transferring or just traveling around on my face. So moving on to L'Oreal. L'Oreal and Maybelline are the 2 brands that released the most products during this time, which was really exciting. So L'Oreal decided to add 2 more items to their Pro Glow line. A lot of people really loved the Pro Glow foundation, so they decided to add a Pro Glow concealer. It retails for $9.99 and it comes in 8 shades. 8 shades for concealer is pretty good, especially because this is a concealer that has more of a light medium coverage. It has a dewy finish, so this is something you're gonna want to use under your eyes or to highlight, and not something you would want to use on your blemishes. And I feel like brands can get away with having fewer concealer shades if they're for highlighting purposes and not to match your skin tone to cover up redness or pimples or scarring. So I did see a review that was a side-by-side comparison between the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer and the L'Oreal Pro Glow. They were very similar, but I remember seeing that the Maybelline gave a little bit more coverage and it lasted longer without creasing. I will have that review linked down below. But if you're looking for a lightweight, light coverage concealer that would be nice to highlight your skin, maybe this would be good for you. Next is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Powder. Retails for $12.99 and it comes in 8 different shades. Again, they could definitely do better than that, but for a powder, that is pretty decent shade selection. Again, I think powder is one of those things that you can almost get away with going a little bit lighter or a little bit darker and not having your exact perfect match. And this powder is super odd. So it is kind of cut in half. The top part is a powder that has a light sheen to it, and the bottom part is like a regular matte face powder. It isn't mattifying, but it just doesn't have any shimmer or shine. So it's saying that you can swirl it all together, or you can try to concentrate the shimmery parts on the high points of your face or wherever you want to highlight. And I've seen people try to just use the shimmery shade to highlight and you get nothing. So if you are afraid that this powder is going to be too glowy for all over, I think it is going to give you a nice natural glow because that part isn't like a highlight in any way. So I think this is something that I would probably just mix the both of them together instead of trying to use them separately. Also, if you use a big powder brush, trying to use them separately is probably going to be kind of tricky to fit your brush in right where you want it to be. So if you do have dry skin but want to set your face with a powder, maybe this would be something that is good for you. But if you are super oily, I don't know if you would like the Pro Glow line in general. Because I'm super oily, that is why I have never been interested in trying any kind of Pro Glow. Next is a new brow product from L'Oreal. It is the Brow Stylist Shape and Fill Pencil. Retails for $10.99 and it comes in 3 different shades. This is an angled brow pencil similar to the Anastasia Brow Definer, the Benefit Goof Proof Brow Pencil. I currently have the Goof Proof and I love it. And because it is that thicker angled brow pencil, it actually lasts a lot longer than those very tiny micro pencils. So that's definitely been worth the money. And I've tried the L'Oreal Brow Definer, which is their little skinny micro pencil. I didn't like it at all. I didn't find that it actually drew onto my skin very well and it wasn't very pigmented. But I think that maybe this one would have a different formula. Maybe it would work better. But I do really love that thicker angled brow pencil. I think it works really well and I think it will probably last you a while. So this is something that I don't think I'm going to try because I didn't have good experience with the previous L'Oreal brow pencil, but a lot of people love that one. And if you're interested in this shape, I would definitely recommend picking this up before you went out and purchased the Benefit or the Anastasia. But Revlon does sell one of these as well. I've tried it and I actually really like that one. Then L'Oreal released some new single shadows. These are L'Oreal Infallible Paints Eyeshadow Metallics. They retail for $8.99. They come in 5 different shades. These are all metallic finish eyeshadows and they do have like a chrome, a gold, a silver, a copper, and a purple. So if you're looking for good metallics, you might really like these. I think these are probably good shadows. If you already have some good metallics in your collection, then you probably don't need these. And $9 for a single shadow from the drugstore seems pretty expensive to me. Next is the L'Oreal Infallible Smokissime Powder Eyeliner Pen. Retails for $9.99. You guys, this is like a sponge tip applicator that is full and pointed at the end of an eyeliner and it is powder. This is huge. If you are wanting to do a black smoky eye and put black shadow all over your lid, then I would recommend this. But I think that this is gonna really overpower basically anybody's eyes. It looks so huge, especially if you have small eyes like me, and especially if you have very little lid space. If you put eyeshadow on and then you put this on top, you're not going to see your eyeshadow. It's just way too big. I think it's a cool concept. You're definitely not going to get precision with this. It is to give you that smoked out look, but the applicator just looks way too big. The next product is something that I would recommend that I do want to purchase. It is the Voluminous Lash Paradise Mascara. Retails for $9.99. And this is supposed to be a dupe of the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I've seen a lot of videos comparing them, and every single person has said they're very similar in formula and in brush, but they like the L'Oreal better because the Too Faced definitely flakes and smudges, and nobody had that problem with the L'Oreal, even the regular non-waterproof version. So that's something that I would recommend, and I definitely do want to pick up. Next product would be the L'Oreal Color Riche Matte Lip Liners. They retail for $8.99, and they come in 8 shades. Again, covering most of the shade ranges. I just think it's odd they have a matte lip liner. I feel like all lip liners are matte. Maybe you'll find one once in a while that has a bit of a shimmer to it. $8.99 is pretty expensive for a drugstore lip liner, and these are pencils that you do have to sharpen. The packaging looks like it's something that's going to be easy to sharpen, that is going to have a clean sharpen, but still, I would definitely recommend the ColourPop lip liners over these. Next is the L'Oreal Color Riche Matte Lipsticks. They retail for $8.99, and they come in 12 different shades. Again, covering a wide basic shade selection of nudes, pinks, oranges, reds, and some purples and some vampy shades. I have seen one review video on these, basically comparing them to the Maybelline Creamy Mattes or the Milani Moisture Mattes, where it is a more comfortable matte lipstick. So I don't think this is going to be a bad product necessarily, but the colors don't look anything different from the ones that Milani and Maybelline have already had out for years. Also, I'm pretty sure this has the traditional L'Oreal lipstick scent, which we all know and hate. It is very perfumed, baby powdery, like a classic grandma makeup scent. So I can't stand those kind of scents in my lip products. So it's definitely not something I'd be purchasing. And again, I already have and love the Maybelline and Milani lipsticks, so I don't feel the need to go out and buy these as well. Next from L'Oreal is their Infallible Paint Metallic Lips. They retail for $9.99, and they come in 6 different shades. And this is basically a glossy metallic liquid lip color. They are supposed to be full coverage. I haven't seen too much on this. Metallic lip trend in general is something I have never been interested in. I don't like the way that it looks, and I think I would definitely not like it on me. But if you have been interested in the metallic lip trend, then this might be something worth checking out. Then L'Oreal released the Infallible Paint Matte Lip Color. It retails for $9.99, and it comes in 6 different shades. All of these shades are in the neutral color family. So they already have their original Infallible lip paints, which are similar to the Too Faced melted lip colors in formula, but they do have a dual foot applicator. Those have been out for a while. So this is the same kind of product, but it has a matte finish. I don't think that this is a transfer proof matte because it describes it as a soft matte finish. And this might be okay. Again, I'm not personally interested in it. I don't think I need it, but it might be something worth checking out. I haven't seen any reviews on this, so I'll definitely have to try to look it up for more information. Now moving on to Maybelline. Maybelline has released so many products, and I'm definitely more excited about the Maybelline things than I personally am the L'Oreal things. Maybelline is one of my favorite drugstore brands, and the first thing I haven't seen any videos on because it is pretty new to the Ulta website. It is the FaceStudio Master Camo Color Correcting Pen. Retails for $9.99, and it comes in 6 different shades: green, yellow, orange, red, purple, and pink. And this is a color corrector, and even though it says it's a pen, it isn't one of those brush tip pens. It's weird. It almost is like a really tiny foam spongy applicator, and the product just comes out the top. And the applicator, I think, is basically to apply, and then you blend it out with something else. So that kind of applicator seems a little bit more sanitary than some of the other products out there. So this is something I haven't heard anything about, but if you are looking to color correct with a liquid product, maybe this would be something that would be pretty cool to try out. I don't do a lot of color correcting, but this one might be pretty good. Next is the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder. Retails for $7.99, and it comes in 8 different shades. 8 shades for a loose powder I think is pretty good, but of course more shades is always better. And they have shades from very light to very dark. I've seen pretty good things about this powder, that it does set your makeup and it does give a little bit of coverage, but of course it's probably not going to give you as much coverage as a pressed powder would. But for this loose powder, there is not a translucent shade. They're all skin tone shades, so definitely keep that in mind. This is something to me that's kind of like meh, like maybe, maybe not. I'm not in a rush to buy it, but I wouldn't say don't get it. It's terrible. Next is the Maybelline FaceStudio Master Bronze Kit. Retails for $12.99. In this kit is 4 products. You have a shimmery highlight, then you have 3 different shades of bronzer. One of them is very light, almost pinky peachy. Then you have a warm tone bronzer with a little bit of shimmer, and then the darkest shade is more cool tone. This is a kit that is suited for light medium skin tones. If you have a tan complexion, you're probably only going to be able to use the highlight and the darkest shade, so you're not going to get in your money's worth. It would probably be better to just buy a different palette or some individual products geared towards your skin tone. I think this is a good idea. I've heard decent things about it. That lightest bronzer shade I haven't heard of anybody using, and even on someone fair like me, I don't know about that color. It's kind of a weird undertone and it is very light, but I have heard good things about the highlighter and the other bronzer shades. This is an okay item, but for $13, I'm going to stick to the bronzers and contours I already have. Next would be their Fit Me blushes. They retail for $5.99, and they actually have 10 shades. 10 shades is pretty dang good. Now the Fit Me blushes have been in Maybelline's line, but they recently repackaged and I think reformulated them. I've heard kind of mixed opinions on these blushes, but from what I'm gathering, this will give you light pigmentation. So if you like light, natural looking blushes, these might be really, really good for you because they do have peach, pinks, plums, berries, nudes. They have a lot of different basic shades. For me, I like really full on pigment intense blushes, and these are going to be just too natural for me. But if you like a natural blush look, then you might really like these. Something really crazy that Maybelline is releasing is the FaceStudio Master Fairy Highlight Illuminating Powder. Retails for $9.99. It comes in 2 different shades. You have a rainbow highlight and then a gradient of purple highlight. I know the rainbow highlight is really popular right now. Not for me. That's something that I would never wear. I think it would look super crazy in person. Yeah, it's something cool for Instagram pictures, but would you ever really wear this walking around town? Next is the Maybelline FaceStudio Master Chrome Metallic Highlighter. It only comes in 1 shade, Molten Gold. It retails for $9.99. And this seems to be a similar formula to the MAC Extra Dimension highlighters, which are very, very popular. This is a beautiful gold color, looks very, very similar to MAC Whisper of Guilt and all of the 1,000,001 dupes out there. I want Maybelline to release more shades in this formula because all the reviews and all the swatches look amazing, but this color gold is way too dark on my skin tone. But if you have a tan or deep complexion, I highly recommend this. It looks amazing. So my next product is just like the Rimmel brow product I mentioned earlier. It is the Brow Drama Shaping Chalk Powder. Retails for $9.99, and it comes in 5 different shades. 5 shades I think is fantastic. It will cover almost all shades of brow and hair, so I think the shade selection is good. But again, I think that this product is not user-friendly. Because it is a loose product you're putting on your eyebrows, you are certainly going to get fallout all over your face. Yes, it is unique and different, so if you just want to try it because it's unique and different, maybe. Next thing would be the Maybelline City Mini Palettes. There are actually 7 different shades. One of them is exclusive to Ulta, and the other 6 shades are available everywhere. They have a lot of different shade selections. They have one that is more neutral, one with different shades of green, some with blues, and some with taupes. So with some of these palettes, all the shades are shimmer, and with some of the palettes, they have a couple different matte shades included. I'm gonna have the review from Miss Lola Lynn linked down below because she swatched all of them, and not all of these palettes are created equally. There are definitely some palettes which are a lot more of a dud, and I think that these might be okay, especially if you're looking for drugstore shadows. And I've heard some decent things depending on the palette that you get. I think that the neutral palette is probably going to be a better formula than the really bright palette. I think this might be okay if you are specifically wanting drugstore shadow. The quality is not going to be at the same level as high-end shadows, so this is something I'm not interested in because I have these colors a million times over, and because I know the formula isn't going to be amazing, it's not worth the money. Next is a new eyeliner from Maybelline. It is the Master Precise Ink Metallic Liquid Liner. Retails for $8.99 and it comes in 6 different shades. And you do have a black color, then you also have some really cool colors like gold, green, and purple. And this liner does have a metallic finish. It is a dip liner where you are dipping it into this little pot with the liquid in it. And I find that those actually last the longest for me and they don't dry out very quickly. It has a very, very skinny applicator. I cannot tell from this picture whether it is a brush or a sponge, but if you're looking for a metallic liner, maybe this would be worth a shot. This is something I have not seen any reviews on yet. Maybelline released a second new liner. It is the Curvitude liner. It retails for $8.99. It is an angled tip liquid liner and it is a felt tip. The applicator is super weird and it's more like the packaging is angled, and I get it's supposed to be a little bit more ergonomic, but I don't really see it being easier to use. I think it's something you'll definitely have to get used to. The applicator is very odd. I think it's not something that you can directly press against your lashes. It's going to be a little thick and kind of an odd shape. So I think the whole curve thing is a gimmick. If you already have a liquid liner you love, I wouldn't say you have to get this one. And then we're on to Maybelline lip products. Maybelline is releasing a ton of lip products right now. First is the Maybelline Color Sensational Vivid Hot Lacquer Lip Glosses. They retail for $7.99 and they come in 12 different shades. You have nudes, peaches, oranges, reds, you have vampy colors, and also some crazy colors. I'm seeing a picture of a blue lip gloss, and from what I've heard, these are very opaque and they are very glossy. If you like that kind of product, this definitely might be for you. This is something that I might be interested in trying depending on the shades, but I've heard good things about them and they seem pretty nice. Next is the Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink Lip Color. It retails for $9.49 and it comes in 10 different shades. They released a fully dried down matte liquid lipstick. I've heard great things about these. I've heard that they last for like 10 hours. They withhold a lot, but they can be a little bit drying. They have a pretty basic color selection, but if you're looking for a good drugstore liquid lipstick, you might be interested in this. This is something I did not plan on buying, but I did receive 2 shades from Influencer, so I will be doing a review on this and seeing whether it is worth purchasing, and if you already have a bunch of liquid lipsticks, whether you really need this one as well. Next is the Maybelline Color Sensational Matte Metallics Lipsticks. Retail for $7.99 and they come in 10 different shades. I told you guys I am not into metallic lipsticks, and these are the traditional bullet lipsticks. And from what I've seen, these are a little bit more sheer. You definitely do need to build them up, and they can be a little bit patchy. So if you're wanting to try something metallic, I would probably go with the L'Oreal lip paints instead, but that is going to have a different finish. Those are glossy and this is matte. The next thing is something that I think is super cool and I would recommend, even though I haven't seen reviews on it yet. This is the Maybelline Super Stay Eraser Lip Color Remover. Basically, it is a lip color remover in a lipstick type packaging, which is so cool. I have lip color removers that are in little squeeze tubes that work so well, and these are perfect for removing liquid lipsticks and long wearing lip colors. And what I love about it being in a lipstick tube is that it's really easy to apply. You don't have to squeeze something onto your finger. So this is something I think would be awesome. You just rub it on your lips to melt away your lip color, but of course you are going to have a tissue to wipe off the lip color and also to wipe off the little remover. Next, moving on to Revlon, they released 4 new products in this Youth Fix line. First, we have the Youth Fix Fill and Blur Foundation. Retails for $17.99 and it comes in 12 different shades. 12 shades is decent for foundation, but I've heard that this is a very, very thick foundation that is a little tricky to blend out. It has more of a natural finish, but I've heard that it does last pretty well throughout the day. But I think that this just sounds like something that is going to feel kind of heavy on the skin. And as I said, I do like matte foundation. So this is something that I'm not going to think is perfect for me. And the price is very expensive, but maybe it's something that you would like. But I've heard that it's okay, but I haven't really heard anybody raving about it so much, saying that it's their new favorite foundation. And then they have the Youth FX Fill and Blur Concealer. Retails for $13.99 and it comes in 6 different shades. A concealer for $14 is just dumb from a drugstore. That is absolutely ridiculous. Some foundations cost that much, and it has a little spongy applicator, and from what I've seen, this has decent coverage. It's more of a natural finish, but there are a lot of drugstore concealers out there that give you the same look, but they're so much cheaper. So I can't see this being something that is worth anybody purchasing unless you're buying the duo, which a lot of people have been doing to review, but that price is just ridiculous to me. And then Revlon has some really weird priming products in this line as well. The Youth FX Fill and Blur Primer for your forehead, which retails for $20. And then the Youth FX Fill and Blur Primer for face and neck, which also retails for $20. I've only seen Tati review these products, and I'm pretty sure she didn't see hardly any result from them. I was really interested by the forehead filling primer because I do have some deep forehead wrinkles, so I thought this was something that I would like, but if it doesn't have significant noticeable effects, and it's not worth my 20 bucks. Then Revlon has a new mascara, the Mega Multiplier Mascara. Retails for $8.99, comes in 4 different shades, all different versions of black. And this looks like a natural bristle brush. It has a little bit of a taper to it, almost looks like a Christmas tree. It looks like a very, very typical brush. I've never found a Revlon mascara that I like, and out of all the amazing mascaras out there, I would probably recommend definitely the new L'Oreal Lash Paradise over this one. This just isn't worth your money. I think it's going to be pretty basic. Then you have the Revlon Ultra HD Matte Metallic Lip Color. Retails for $9.99 and it comes in 8 different shades. And of course, as I've said many times, I don't like metallic lips, but from the reviews that I've seen, these are very sheer and you really have to layer them on. That is not worth it. It is not worth it. So no, no, no. And they come in 2 shades, Rosy Pink and Vintage Rose. Rosy Pink is like a bright blue tone pink, and Vintage Rose actually looks like a peach blush. But these are a little bit brighter. So these are going to actually work for more medium skin tones. I know the original two shades only worked for fair skin, but these two shades are going to work for a lot more people. And these shades are exclusive to Walmart, and I think they're around between $8 to $10. I'm not so sure on that price, but I definitely want to pick up the more peachy one because I love the formula of the butter bronzer. So I think I would love these as well. So if you guys were really disappointed by the original butter blush shades, then you really might be interested in these because they probably are going to show up a lot more on your skin. So guys, that was my anti-haul of all of the new summer 2017 drugstore products. Please let me know what things you have tried and what's your opinion on them, and maybe they are worth the money, maybe they're worth passing. I would love to know your experiences, but I feel pretty confident that I can resist buying almost all of these products, which is so nice. I'm saving money left and right. I hope you guys found this video to be a little bit interesting. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.